Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So a few weeks ago I posted a question on my Instagram asking my followers to just ask me anything they've ever wanted to know about pregnancy, labor, etc. And basically today I'm going to be answering those questions as honestly as possible. As you can imagine, because of the subject matter, it tends to get a bit graphic, bit TMI. So this is your warning. Like, if you don't think you can handle it, then you can absolutely click away and I'll see you in the next video. But if you would like to hear and maybe see if one of your questions has been answered, then definitely keep watching. And if you enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for new videos on Sundays. And yeah, let's get into it. So I do have the questions on my phone, so I'm just going to be looking down on that. And if this little one, obviously as you can imagine, this little one had her own view of everything that happened, so she might just want to once in a while come in with her 2 cents, so if she does do that, then understand that her view must also be expressed. I'm not going to stop her from expressing it. Okay, I'm not the boss here. We listen to what the little ones have to say. But let's just get straight into it. Question number 1. How did you know that you were in labor? I honestly took a chance. It wasn't like the normal, you get like contractions and then you time them and then you go to the hospital. It wasn't anything like that. I just, at that point, I had like a bad contraction and then I had tiny ones. And even then, I'm not even sure it was a contraction. I didn't even know. I was just like, you know what? There's pain, it comes and goes. The last one was kind of painful, so I'm going to the hospital for them to tell me what I should do at this point. Okay, and I'd had a stretch and sweep that day. I'd also lost a lot of my mucus plug. I will not even describe what a mucus plug is. It is disgusting. Lord, it is disgusting. Okay, between your uterus where the baby's sitting, there's like a little opening. That's the opening where the baby's going to come out. And so this is inside your body, so inside the uterus. So there's a little opening, and then in that opening there's like mucus that forms there. And so this is what keeps that protects the baby. So even if you are engaging in sexual intercourse while you are pregnant or all of that, the sperm will not get up there. Literally very few things can get up there. It keeps the baby protected. So when labor is about to start, and this can be either weeks before or the day before, whatever, that mucus plug will either slowly start coming out, or it will just go pew. For me, it went pew. Okay, like I was just sitting and I went to the bathroom and I was like, well then, now what is this? And it's just, think of snot. Lots of snot in a ball and bloody. You wanted to watch a TMI video. That's the TMI part, okay? That's what it is. So after losing all of that, having some pains, I was just like, I'm going to the hospital. And then I actually only started contracting when I was already being monitored. So yeah, so I think I had a bit of an unconventional birth in that sense. How bad was the tear and how long did it take to heal? So I tore quite a bit. I have 2nd degree tear, and 2nd degree basically means that the skin tore, muscles tore. I tore from my JJ all the way up to my butt. That's a visual for you guys. Literally, like, woof. Sorry, it happened to me, but just thinking about it still kind of messes with me. So yeah, play music through that little part, my angel. It was scary. So the tear was really bad, and they stitched me up for an hour, and then after that it took about, I want to say about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to heal properly. I remember the first few days after I gave birth, like every time I had to wipe, guys, just the stitch. Oh, yeah. But then, not everyone tears. Let me just put it out there. Not everyone tears, okay? So don't be scared. Not everyone tears. And they might just, yeah. Were the pain relief methods helpful? So I had a vaginal delivery, and I went unmedicated for the most part. Okay, let me not say unmedicated because they did give me an injection for pain, but I didn't get an epidural. So basically, I just got 1 injection in I think it was my right thigh. Right at the beginning, I was only about 1.5 centimeters dilated at that point. So really early on. and then I tried using the tub, the water. It was nice to sit in the tub until a contraction hit. When a contraction hit, I was like, get me out of here. I need to be like in a ball or something. This is not happening. Like the whole thing about, oh, the water running down your back did not work for me. And also another thing is, as soon as my water was broken, they were like, okay, no more tub for you. So I was just like, man, what do I do now? The whole walking around didn't help. I was not interested in walking around didn't help. My husband, he gave me what is it, Panado? Yeah. Yeah, shame. As I said, he was trying. But then gas was just, honestly, gas was mostly a distraction. The contractions would start, I'd start like just inhaling the gas slowly. It was mostly a distraction. I didn't feel anything. I didn't help anything, like, at all. So yeah, man, just power through, you know. Would you go for an epidural next time? The first contraction I had, I remember telling my husband, like, listen, get an anesthesiologist here right now. I'm not playing these games. Oh my god, it is painful. So I definitely acknowledge the fact that the contractions were really painful, but I also made it through, you know, like, I'm here, she's here, I can talk about the experience with a smile, you know, I'm not overly traumatized. So I mean, I survived. So I don't know. It's a bit of a toss-up, honestly. Would you recommend epidural? Ooh, I didn't get an epidural, so I'm not supposed to recommend things I know nothing about. Okay, look, the biggest thing is that you know, everyone says you need to know your pain tolerance and all of that, but I have multiple tattoos and piercings and random things, so my pain tolerance is okay. But the biggest thing is you won't know how bad it's going to feel until you're there, you know. So if I were to advise anyone of anything, I'd say have the option of an epidural close by. Maybe go through a few of the contractions and then decide in that moment if that's what you want to do or not. After you've experienced it a bit, then you'll be like, okay, I think I can handle it, or you know what, not for me, thank you, you know. Just nice to feel, but no. So that's literally the only thing I'd say. Okay, the most frequently asked question: how was the pain? You know what? I want to be honest. I properly passed out from the pain. Properly, okay. I was up during the contraction, and as soon as the contraction was done, I was passed out. So like every contract, like that's how it was, because I think that was like my body's defense system, because my body was just like, we are under attack, we cannot do this. So my brain was just like, shut it down, nope, we're not doing this. So that's how bad the pain was. But the biggest thing is, as I said, and I said the same thing about the whole, you know, going natural without an epidural and all of that. Now thinking back, like my body knew what to do. As I said, my body was just like, we're going to sleep through this, that's it. So I have like literal small moments of me being awake, like waking up with a contraction. That's all I remember. You know, there wasn't me walking around and then anticipation of the contraction, nothing. I'll just wake up, be in pain for the duration of the contraction. I don't even know how long it was lasting. Immediately after the contraction was done, I was passed out again. So my body, that was what my body did. And so, you know what, it wasn't in hindsight, it was awful, but you know, yeah. Is it painful when they check how dilated you are? Actually, not at all. Like they literally, honestly, up to that point, they've been like just sticking things up there. You're just like, do your worst, man. And another thing is, you're honestly so you have, there's so much anticipation to know, you know, how far along it's going, that you just like, what is it? What's the centimeter? Tell me. You know, they go and you're like, am I almost there? That's all you're thinking. So it's absolutely not painful at all. Describe the pain of contractions. Describing the pain of oh, okay. So for me, it felt like, right, like there were these and those spears that was stabbing me from the front, and one huge, like one bigger one that's stabbing me straight down my spine, like stabbing all the way in. People say it's supposed to be like period pains. It did not feel like period pains at all. They're like, oh no, it just feels like period pains, but like on a higher level. It did not feel like that for me. It felt like I was being stabbed. I was being stabbed by these spears, like each time just stabbing me, stabbed, like, whew, yeah, no. Please, I'm not scaring you guys from like having babies. Have babies, guys. Have babies. Look, they're cute. You know. Did you poop while giving birth? Probably. I think so. I really think so. But you guys, the nurses are so used to it that honestly, they don't even tell you. They don't make a big deal about it. It just happens and then it's gone, and then that's it. And actually, if you poop, it's a good thing because it means that you are pushing with the right muscles. Okay, I remember just before they told me that I could start pushing, I really needed to go to the bathroom. I was just like, guys, I need to go to the bathroom. You guys don't even understand. I need to go to the bathroom. I'm begging you, I need to go to the bathroom, and they're like, no girl, you're about to start pushing. No. And I was like, listen, okay, I need to fart. Because that's what it feels. It feels like there's so much pressure. It's like the biggest crap you've ever had. That's what it feels like. It's like biggest crap, and it's traveling down, and there's pain from the contractions, all these things. But I think when I started pushing, I'm pretty sure I pooped. I think I pooped. I honestly think I believe I pooped. Pretty sure I did. What is the most painful part? The most painful part for me was at around 9 centimeters. I wanted to push, like every part of my body wanted to push, and they were like, you can't push. That for me was awful because the contractions were really close together. Yeah, whenever it gets to like bad, she's just like, no, music. But basically, I'm gonna listen to the song. Hey. So basically at that point, 9 centimeters, the contractions are almost on top of each other. And each time a contraction hits, my body's just like, okay, pressure, push. And they were like, no, don't you dare, do not push. I wanted to, I was fighting my body. That for me was the most difficult part. And it was also, because it was also the part where I was most awake. So yeah, that was awful. That was awful. Actually, the pushing wasn't even like that. That part I hated. After how long did period return? I am currently exclusively breastfeeding, so my period has not returned. Yeah, we are on 7 months, no, even longer. Yeah. So I haven't had my period in over a year. Jesus. Yeah. That's the one good thing. You know what? After everything that you go through, that's the one good thing. How is sex after birth? Actually, I think I freaked myself out about how it was going to be. I thought it was going to be super painful. I thought it wasn't going to be as enjoyable. I thought it was going to be, what's the word? I thought it wasn't going to be as tight for the both of us, But actually, it felt normal. It felt like it felt as great as it did before. Let's pass. Yeah. When did you go back to working out after giving birth? After giving birth, honestly, I wanted to work out like 2 weeks after, but I decided, let me just listen to the doctors, and I started working out after my 6-week appointment. They checked, the stitches were nicely healed, and you know what, my uterus was everything was where it should be. Everything was contracting the way it should be. So yeah, then they were like, okay, you got the go-ahead. I think it's always important to get the go-ahead from your doctor first before you do anything after birth. How did it feel when they gave her to you after she was born? Honestly, I unfortunately didn't get to experience this. We had a few scary moments after she was born. My little girl, she came out pooping. So literally as she went plop onto the table, she was already pooping. So the problem is that if she had pooped inside while she was still coming out and had ingested some of that meconium, is what they call it, then that's very, very dangerous for the baby. So they didn't give it to me because they just needed to make sure that she hadn't actually ingested the meconium, and she was actually just she was okay. Another thing is, this little one, she came out and then she was just kind of limp. That's what my husband told me. I didn't see this. My husband told me that she was limp and she wasn't really moving. I remember she came out. I remember she wasn't crying, but I don't know. It didn't even register that she should be crying, because at that point I was just kind of like calming down. And then I saw them transfer her to the warming table, and as they're lifting her, it's just poop, guys. She was shooting. It's like she's like shooting poop everywhere, shooting poop. And then they transferred her to the warming table, and then you know, my husband told me, because my husband was right by them, and she was telling me that they actually came to talk to me. Okay. And so my husband told me that her body was warming up. It seemed like her legs were not actually getting any blood flow, and they were just like not moving at all. So then they were trying to rub her legs and all of that. And remember, I'm still in the bed, you know, the nurses are still kind of trying to clean me up. I'm watching. I'm not really sure what's happening. No one's saying anything. They kind of just the nurses are just, and the midwives are just talking amongst themselves, and just they're like, update. And my husband also doesn't know what to say. They haven't said anything to him, because they're also in a rush trying to make sure that she's okay. Eventually then she kind of like woke up, and then she started crying. Then they were like, okay, everything's good. They showed her to me, and then they showed her to me. They went and weighed her, then they gave her to my husband. Then I was stitched for an hour, so only after an hour did I actually get to hold her. That was actually the worst part about you know, our experience. The last question was, how much was it? And this is kind of it's a bit of a loaded answer, because I didn't have medical aid, but I did give birth in a private facility. I gave birth at Netcare. So yeah, I think I'll make a separate video about how I made that happen with all the details, because as I said, it's quite a bit to go over. So yeah, I will definitely be answering that one question. That is it from us. You know, I hope I didn't scare you guys off. Honestly, it's you know, it was a beautiful experience in hindsight. You know, I'd definitely do it again. I wouldn't change anything, and I'm glad to have my little girl. And so yeah, I'm not trying to scare you guys off from having kids, but if you do have any more questions that you want to ask, you can let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe over there, watch our last video over there, and we will see you guys in the next one.